Hello, welcome back to a sim racing experience. My name's Jose and I'm a sim racer here in Miami. Today I wanted to go into 5 things that I do every single day that have really helped me to strengthen my mental health, and they're just things that I do personally that have really just helped me build a life that I've been able to get out of this whole mental state that I was in, and have really put me on a path to live a much more positive life. And it's just a pattern of things that I've started doing. And the first one is starting to wake up extremely early. This was always something that I struggled with for forever. I mean, from when I was little, going to school, and then just up until my last job where I was working in 8 to 5, that I had to get up at 7:30, and to me that was early, and I never wanted to get up. And I guess at the end of the day, it was just I didn't want to get up because I didn't want to go. So when I started working for myself, almost 2 years ago, I started progressively waking up earlier and earlier, and it was just because I wanted to. It wasn't because I had to, and it was just a fact that I would start waking up early and my mind would start going. And now that I work from home, I didn't have to be somewhere, so I could start on whatever it is that I needed to do and just get started on it. And I think that point where there was no delay from me waking up to either getting on the computer or doing whatever it is that I needed to do, there was no delay anymore. So there was no... It's what happens when you have a cat and you leave the door open when you're recording. So, as I was saying, there's no delay from when I wake up to the moment that I'm working. And I think that those moments that I used to spend endlessly scrolling through social media for 20-25 minutes, sometimes even up to an hour, that moment, that time spent on Instagram that I spent for God knows how many years, it was probably some of the most detrimental things I could have done to my mental health. And from now, what I've learned is that when I wake up in the mornings, I can immediately get to whatever it is that I want to do and whatever it is that I need to do, so that then if I want to consume whatever media I want, I can then do that and not have to worry about everything else that I have to do. And it just becomes something where it just frees up my mind a little bit more and frees up some space in my mind for free time. The second thing that I do is I really try to cut my use of social media. And this is because there's such an array of different types of posts that you could see. And while some of that stuff is probably meaningless to somebody else, or it meant something to somebody else is what I should have said, sometimes that could be taken totally different by me, by whoever's watching this. So I really began to notice that if it wasn't the best environment for me to be in at that point in my life, where my mental health was where it was at, I just decided to completely cut it out. Or not completely, but I even got to a point where I just had like a 5-minute time limit on it, just because I really did not want to be on it unless it was for business, and I really just wanted to limit my use on it so that I wouldn't be going on. And I think that some of the problems, or one of the bigger problems with Instagram, or one of the bigger problems with social media in general, is that we end up in this like endless scrolling pattern. And I've caught myself I don't know how many times doing that, and it's just like I want to grab my phone and just toss it to the side, because it's crazy that somebody was able to build a program that can really just take our mind and just put all our focus into it. So I think that if our mind is capable of focusing at that level, then I really think that, at least for me, I want to take my mind and put it to the best use possible, and just continue to think creatively and continue to build on all these opportunities that I've been given. The third thing I do is when I do consume social media, I try to make sure I'm consuming social media that has some sort of value to me, whether it's in fact helping my mental health, it's doing something with the simulator, it's doing something with my photography or my video business, and it's something that I'm going to take something from it and I'm going to learn something from it and then be able to apply it to whatever it is that I want to do. And what I used to be doing a lot was just endlessly scrolling, and I would look at every single post, and then I would analyze every single post. And if it was like a meme or something, then you'd have to like try to analyze this whole thing. And I think that goes back to my OCD, and it was just a horrible pattern that I had gotten into. So now it's just a matter of scrolling, and just if I see something that I like, or if I see something that I feel is going to give me some sort of value, then I'll look. And even then, if it's something that really doesn't make that big of a difference in my life, I'm not going to pay that much attention to it, and I'm just going to continue moving on with my life. Not like I used to in the past, where I would look at something and then have to analyze it for 3 months, and then I lose 3 months of productivity and creativity just because I saw something on the internet that somebody else made. So even just saying that, it's like pretty pointless. So definitely, if I'm going to be on social media, I try to just consume media that really just brings something to me. And I think that that's also another reason why I'm creating all this content. And it's content for me as well. It's content that I'm creating for myself, and it's content that I really enjoy creating and love making, and that's really what it really boils down to at the end of the day. I also think that being able to share my craft has really freed my mind and opened up my mind to continue creating and continue to think creatively and find these other opportunities. And it's the opportunity that, people like, great companies like YouTube have given creators to be able to come on here and create content, whatever the content may be, within the guidelines of YouTube. It's such a great opportunity to be able to take what I have in my mind, my heart, and just be able to use the gear that I have and just be able to put it out. The fourth thing I do is respect my time, and this was something I struggled with at the beginning. And maybe struggle is not the right word, because I thought I didn't care. I mean, at the beginning, I would put 16 to 18 hours into a day of work, and it didn't matter, because of course, you're pouring all this passion into it, and it's easy to do all that time and put all that time into it. And if somebody sends you an email and it's like you're sitting right next to it, you definitely want to answer right away. And while I still certainly believe in that and continue to do that, I also have learned to respect my time. I already went through a bad time where it was almost an entire year of just, what am I doing? What have I done? And just trying to figure out what my next step was going to be. And what it came down to was that now I've been in business now for 2 years, and been working with almost 40 clients. And as much as I love doing what I'm doing with them, and as much as I love creating content for other people, I started doing all of this. My food photography business started because I was creating content for myself, for stock. So it became very clear to me, and it was very important to me, that I had to go back and create content for myself. Now I'm extremely fortunate that I have a lot more gear than what I started with, and I have a lot more knowledge than what I started with. So all of the content I wish I was able to make back in the day, and just didn't have the confidence to do it because I didn't have the knowledge, or whatever it may have been, now I have that knowledge and that confidence and the gear to do it. And when I started realizing that I had all the tools to put this out there, all it came down to was just me making a decision of whether or not I was going to do it, because there was nothing holding me back. There wasn't a tool missing. There wasn't anything missing in here. And it's become so easy to talk about it, and being able to go back to creating something for myself and being able to respect my time has really taught me that. The last thing I do, and it's kind of what this channel is all about, I get on the simulator. And this simulator has been one of the best tools that I have ever found, probably the best tool I have ever found to continue building up on my mental health, and just something that it's fun, but it's the one thing. There is nothing else that takes my focus like this does, and it's taking 100% of my focus and applying it to 100% of one task. So there's no room for my brain to go anywhere else. And what that does is it frees up so much room in my brain, and my brain just kind of in the background starts working out some of the most complex situations in my life, and then they end up making complete sense. And that could happen in the middle of a race, a qualifying session, whatever it may be. It's just that sometimes when you get into this ASMR state that you're just going around doing laps and you get into this flow and you get into this rhythm, that it just becomes very easy for your brain to just start processing things on its own and things start making sense. It's kind of like, I think I talked about it in a video several months ago, or several weeks ago actually. And I know several people that have had some of the world's greatest ideas in the shower, and it's just because that you're there, you're just focusing on bathing yourself, and your brain is just completely freed up to think and completely freed up to process. And that's what I find here, but to an extreme. So it's something that I do in the mornings, and it's something that I try to get as much time on it as possible. Not only because of the channel, but also just because it's really something that helps me, and it's something that, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's something that is extremely fun to me, but it's something that when I do good at it, it gives me such an incredible boost of confidence, and it's confidence that I carry with me throughout the entire day. It's confidence that I carry with me in every aspect of my life, and it's something that has taught me so much, and it's something that continues to teach me a lot. And I think most importantly, it has taken me back to a degree to that innocence I used to feel when I was just a little kid. I started go-karting when I was 5 years old, and now it's all kind of just making sense and coming back, but with 25 years of knowledge and experience on top of that. And just, I'll say it again, and it's just a matter of, I'm so passionate about both of these things, and I hope that comes clear across in the videos, and just trying to once again share it with as many people as possible. So these are 5 things that I do every single day. There's so many other things that I could possibly come up with that have really helped me. But if you found some sort of benefit in it, or if you think that somebody else that you know might find some sort of benefit in it, again, these are just my tools that I have found that have worked out for myself. This is just from a human standpoint. This isn't any medical advice or anything. It's just things that I have figured out on my own, just from a basic, plain human standpoint, and just want to share that with anybody that I can. So if you can, I would definitely appreciate the like. I'm going to be posting a whole bunch more of this content, so if you'd like to see more of it, definitely consider subscribing, and I will see you in the next one. See you later.